It's news time. Information is power. The current, the news headline. Shøçk test positive for COVID-19. Lai Mohammed denies contracting virus. The news in full. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has denied being infected with COVID-19, and Mohammed, who is also member of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, said that he attended the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday, the extraordinary meeting of FEC on Thursday, and the inauguration of the new Minister of State for Works and Housing, Muazu Sambu, on Friday, which was covered by the media. He therefore wondered how he could be said to be in isolation and still be allowed to attend such important events at the presidential villa. Online medium Premium Times had reported that COVID-19 was ravaging the presidential villa, and the newspaper said that Mohammed, as well as several other villa officials, including the Permanent Secretary State House, Tijani Omar, the President ate the camp, Yusuf Dudu, his Chief Security Officer Aliyu Musa, and his Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Shøçk, had contracted the virus. Responding, however, Mohammed said, "I read the story and we still have a great battle on our hands on fake news and mischievous reporting. I was in the public view on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. I was at FEC on Wednesday, and also I coordinated press briefing on Thursday for the extraordinary ESC meeting, and the Minister of Power and I addressed the media. On Friday, I witnessed the swearing-in for Minister of State's meeting. How can someone who has had such high-level engagement for 3 days consecutively be ill? It is nothing but fake news. I am ill and hearty. Not only that, I have taken the 2 doses of the vaccine. I have also taken the Pfizer booster. I am a member of the PSC and I am ill and hearty, and I am performing at optimum level," said Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Culture and Information. What good governance was, and it says that there are 8 characteristics of good governance. The type of democracy must be participatory, consensus-oriented. It must be accountable, transparent, responsive, effective, and efficient, equitable, and also inclusive. It must follow the rule of law, and once you follow the rule of law, corruption will be minimized. So when they say Nigeria is corrupt, you have to ask yourself, what do they mean? It means that the Appropriation Act and Appropriation Law of the state are violated. It is in the budget, for instance, that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will be fixed. Once that road is not fixed that year, the law has been violated. If you implement only 40%, it means you breach the law to the tune of 60%, and that should not be tolerated in any civilized society. Also, Chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution clearly spelled out what good governance will provide. It says that the good government shall be a democracy, and security and welfare of the people be the primary purpose of the government. Now, once the government cannot guarantee the security and welfare of the people, the Constitution said that the government, both at state and federal levels, shall be constituted in such a way so as to give everybody a sense of belonging, and you cannot have a democratic government as far as Chapter 2 is concerned and have lopsided appointments. Appointment must reflect federal character principle, and when you are talking of federal character, you are not talking of geographical zones alone or regional representation. You are also talking about representation of youth, women, and people with disability. So, it must be an inclusive government. The government of Nigeria shall be humane. If the government is humane, it will not only say one person was killed, or like one vice chancellor who was asked by journalists, "How many people were killed on your campus?" He said only 4. That statement, which was made via 9 o'clock news in 1985, led to the spontaneous demonstrations across the country by students, and of course, a lot of damage was done in the process. That means that the government must be humane. The Nigerian president cannot be sympathizing with Americans over the tornado that killed 80 people last week, while in Nigeria, children and adults are killed daily. You cannot be talking about what is happening in another country when yours is on fire, because charity, they say, must begin at home. In the past, when serious tragedies occurred in the country, while the president was outside, he had to come back, and not these days where you have tragedies in Nigeria and the country is jetting out. Every citizen still have still ought to have access to education, health and employment as contained in Chapter 2 of the law. And if you are not employed, and this will shock you, the government is supposed to pay you unemployment benefits. Under Chapter 2, the government shall pay a living minimum wage, which cannot be 30,000 naira under the current economic situation in the country. Pensions shall be paid to retirees. Even though this section is not justifiable, the National Assembly shall make laws that will make it justifiable. One of such laws is the National Minimum Wage Act, while another is the Pension Reforms Act. Others are the Children Act and many more. But these laws, which are welfare laws, are observed in their breaches. Hence, about 60 million children are currently out of school, whereas every child is supposed to be in school. The government is supposed to build well-equipped hospitals so that our people can live healthy lives. I was shocked after a trip to Cuba, corner country that has resources, a country of 12 million people which depends on sugarcane and tobacco, that education is free for everybody, while health is guaranteed. In fact, the life expectancy in Cuba is higher than that of United States of America. Yet, it is a very poor country by all standards, but it's about the priority of the country. And what makes our leaders, what makes our different is that our rulers, because I don't call them leaders, travel abroad to treat preventable diseases, whereas the poor people die here for the same illness. This is happening despite the fact that up to 1960s, presidents of foreign countries were coming to Nigeria, especially to the University College Ibadan for medical treatment, just like our rulers now go abroad for treatment. And shamefully, even when they are in London for treatment, they turn their houses to a Mecca and expose their country to ridicule. Some of you are in Lagos and have been told that Lagos is working. How can Lagos work when you have had a ruling party for the past 22 years, yet some hospitals have no bed, no equipment? It is only in Nigeria that it can happen that way. I have traveled to many countries, about 50 of them, but I have never observed where vendors mount commercial vehicles like Mulwe, be selling drugs, oh my God, selling drugs, or people selling drugs at motor parks. Worse still is that a lot of these have expired. Look, no responsible government will allow that. Look in Benin Republic, our next door neighbor here. It is a criminal offense to sell drug outside a pharmacy. So when you are talking of good governance, it covers all aspects of our lives. Rule of law is key, and human rights must be respected. And when you talk about the rule of law, that the government must rule according to the law. And when he was asked about what he sees about the recent travel ban on Nigerian by the UK, he says that many Nigerians travel abroad with COVID-19 certificates, but it was discovered that many of the certificates are fake. And what a serious government should do is to verify where such certificates were issued to ensure the colossal international disrepute to which our country is exposed to and stop. Thanks for listening.